What's up, everybody? We have a very special edition of the Back Nine Bros today. A repeat guest, but somebody who hasn't been on in a few years and who has made huge strides in the game of golf now on the PGA Tour. David Ford, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you back. I think last time we spoke was the fall of 2023, and it was right after you guys won the Walker Cup at St. Andrews. So I remember we talked through you making the winning putt, but from then until now, obviously you were top on the PGA Tour U rankings and now playing on the PGA Tour. How was the end of your college career? And what's the transition to pro golf been like?
Yeah, end of college was a lot better than expected. That I think that was my junior year when I talked with y'all in the fall, and game felt pretty good then. But I really struggled that spring of my junior year, and I think I was in the fall. I was probably projected to be top three or four, maybe top two. PGA Tour U. I had a good fall of my junior year, and then spring I just kind of faded a little bit. I didn't play terrible, but I had a few bad events and then a few just mediocre events, and only two good ones. So it was a tough spring for me that junior year, and my body wasn't feeling great. The summer, I actually got some imaging done on my hips and my back, and was really not feeling great. And there were more conversations that I had with coaches and trainers and doctors about redshirting than there were about me playing my senior year. So yeah, I didn't really feel great ending my junior year, and I saw a doctor down in Florida. Name's David Donatucci. He's in the Jupiter area. I worked with him. He's a trainer, like a PT guy, and we just found some ways to make my body more efficient. Started swinging it more efficiently. Gave me a lot of confidence that my body could hold up at least for another year in college. And ended up playing great my senior year. I won back-to-back events in the fall. I think I finished in the top 10, all four events in the fall, and then in the spring, um, didn't finish higher than I think 18th, maybe 19th, and had three wins in a row in that spring. So it was just wild. I saw Cole at one of those events, and that was kind of where I think I had won the week before, and it started to feel silly of like, look at where we were literally 6 months ago, and look at where we are today. Like it actually doesn't make sense in my brain to play that well after coming off of just such a hard like 8 months of playing bad golf and then being injured and my body not feeling that much better, but somehow making it through. And yeah, the transition to pro golf has been difficult. I missed I think six cuts to start my pro career, and I was pretty defeated. And then the only cut I made was the only cut I didn't get to practice the week leading up to it. I had a back injury, and my back just flared up for a week before it. I didn't hit a ball until Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Tournament started that Thursday morning, and then went out and made the cut at 3M Open. Got second to last of the people who made the cut, and then missed the cut at Wyndham to finish my PGA Tour regular season. So it was a tough transition. I didn't play well. A lot of good, a lot of learning, but did not play well. Played well in the fall. Game was in a really good spot actually, and the cuts I missed, I was really close. I was kind of looking back at them and thinking, how did I miss that many cuts? And then the ones that I made, I ended up playing pretty well at. I was in eighth going into the weekend at Jackson, Mississippi. I shot 15 under at Worldwide Technology, and then I got third in Utah this fall. So yeah, it's been a good last 6 months of golf. The first 3 months of pro golf were tough, but it's been great.
So
Yeah,
going
I
back
mean,
to that, is
go
that
ahead.
just
Go, bro.
is that just overuse? And what did you guys do to get you back to being able to play?
Yeah, I battled injury since this time in 2021. So February 2021 is when I first started having back pain. It didn't make a whole lot of sense when it first happened. I just picked up a carpet and then my back just didn't work after that. Like it was weird. But I figured when it happened in February of 2021, my senior year of high school, I was like, I'll just take a few weeks off and be fine. I'll go to college in the fall and play the whole summer and be okay. And then fast forward 3 months, and I still hadn't hit a golf ball from that day, and my body just felt bad. That was senior year of high school. Uh, got some imaging done and was like, my body looks fine. I'm going to play. So played through pain for that summer. Actually played pretty well. Had a great Western Am, made the quarterfinals there as a junior golfer. And yeah, played well at the US Junior and had a lot of momentum going into college, and then just kept playing through injury until my senior year or until my junior year, and then it got a little bit worse to where I started having more hip pain, more back pain. The imaging wouldn't really explain much about it. There was talk about partial labral tears in my hips. I think that's pretty negligible and kind of fell through based on imaging after that. And then I just have unexplained back pain. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And um, yeah, that continued all the way to junior year. It got worse. And then the workouts that I started doing with this guy, David Donatucci, we just worked on strengthening my glutes and getting the right muscles in my legs to fire in my golf swing. And it really helped just give me something to work on, take my mind off the injury, convince myself that I was functional and wasn't crazy hurt. And yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence to just swing the club freely. So did that. My whole fall was grinding in the gym, not getting that much stronger. Like I didn't look that much stronger, but I was really grinding on the things that mattered, especially that fall of my senior year of college. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. Strengthening all the right muscles, still have back pain. Body's not perfect. Coming off an injury right now at the American Express, I tweaked my ankle. Was out for 3.5 weeks, but we're playing this week, so
How did
that's
that
kind of the
happen?
world of pro golf. Um, I mean, it
Or
doesn't make a lot of sense, but I switched to a certain pair of shoes to travel in that apparently my feet didn't agree with. And so my ankle just started hurting at the American Express. It was fine in Hawaii the first week of the year. I was playing fine there. And then Amex, I played well. I really had a good week there, but it started hurting Thursday of Amex is when my ankle started hurting, just right on the my right ankle. And I was like, man, it's probably these shoes. Like I got new shoes, new golf shoes, and the grass is really sticky out in California. It's overseeded rye, but the humidity of the air there because it's dry, the grass is just so sticky. It's like playing in Arizona. And I was like, ah, it's probably my golf shoes. And then, I mean, I don't know. It was probably a combination of the golf shoes and a combination of the travel shoes that I switched to that just have. It's like walking on a Bosu ball, pretty much. Like you're in them and you're like, these are so comfortable. And then, I mean, you fast forward 2 weeks after switching to him, and my walking is fine, but it just there was just tension on that ankle joint and all the ligaments in there. So I actually just started hitting balls like 4 days ago. But game's feeling good. I had to make a little adjustment to my setup, flare the right foot out a little bit, but everything looks fine. The ball's flying straight enough, so we're just kind of riding it out, and it's
let's
getting
go.
better. It really has gotten better the last week. Thankfully, I feel like it didn't get any better for those 3 weeks, and then the last week or even like 4 days, it's gotten better, and I've been able to hit some.
Well, our very own Mr. Cole here has some experience with some ankle issues at tournaments. May I remind you of Colorado Golf Club in the USM
That
the
was crazy.
evening before the second round, basically waking me up and giving me a panic attack in the hotel room.
Yeah, we played Colorado first, and I woke up at probably 3 a.m. and woke. I couldn't walk. I had to go to the bathroom, and I took a step out of my bed and just like collapsed. So
Oh my goodness.
I went over to Matt, woke him up, and we got my parents. I ended up getting rubbed down in the like the PT room that morning, and I think I just had adrenaline by the time I got to the first tee. But it was like I was like, come on, man, like not now, not now. And I've probably sprained each ankle 2 or 3 times. So walking on both,
Mm,
man, it's not the answer.
yeah, it's not it. It's not gonna fix you.
That
Man, that's
terrain,
crazy.
that terrain at Colorado Golf Club, man. I mean, the golf course was insane, but that terrain was something else. I mean, you were there, David.
Yeah, that place was crazy. Unlike anything I expected to see. It looked like we were in Nebraska or Scotland or a combination of the two, but not
Literally.
Colorado.
And then you got Cherry Hills, which was just completely opposite of what CGC was. Just
Yeah,
basically if you drop Baltusrol Golf Club
yeah.
in Colorado,
Feels like we're in Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah,
literally. But I wanted to go back to Amex. That's where you played with Blades Brown. And you
Hmm.
guys, it just looked like you were feeding off each other. You had obviously a great week, as did he. But can you talk a little bit about like how just you guys were just feeding birdies off each other left and right?
Yeah. So we played together. That's a weird one. There's a 3 round cut there. So the cut ended up being 11 under, which is just crazy because that stadium course is not that easy. But yeah, I got lucky to be paired with Blades for those first three rounds, and also got lucky that he played great, and I think was tied for the lead or one back going into the that final round. But yeah, I actually didn't play that well. Those first, I didn't make. I played well. I didn't make a lot of putts. Those first three rounds, and didn't drive it great that third round either. But thankfully, the golf courses were not hard the first two rounds, so I was able to kind of give myself some good space. And I think I shot maybe 4 under, six under the first two rounds, or 5 under, 6 under, something like that. Um, yeah, 5 under, 6 under, I think it was. So played well enough the first two rounds, and then that third round, no, sorry, that second round, that Blades shot 60. Um, it was pretty wild. Like I was pretty upset at myself. I don't know what my strokes gained putting was because they didn't have the shot link on the Nicholas course, but it was not good. I probably lost like 4 or 5 on the greens and shot 6 under. Like I was inside of Blades all day, and he was just giving me read after read, and I would just miss him, and he would just make them on every hole. So he was 12. He was par is 72. He was 12 under through 15. We go to the 16th hole, par five. I hit 5 iron in. He's probably got adrenaline 6 iron in, maybe a 7 iron in. And he hits it in the only spot you can't hit it, gets a bad bounce, goes into really the only spot you can't hit it. So he makes par on the par five. Then we go to the par three. And there was probably 1 or 200 people watching us the first 15 holes. And then 200 more people showed up. So probably doubled that on the 16th hole, that par five. And then on the 17th hole, par three, there's probably 5 or 600 people around the green. It's this island green par three, not very hard. It's not like 17. It's like I wasn't even thinking about the water. It's that easy. So I hit to 15 feet, I miss it. Blades hits it to 12 feet and lips it out. And that was to get to 13 under through 16 or 17. Like with one to play, you're probably going to shoot 59. Um, but last hole, hardest approach shot of the day in my opinion on a par four. He hits it right inside me, and I'm looking at him like, buddy, you gotta do it. Like, what do you like? You just hit inside of me. Like, there's no way you don't shoot 59. Um, and it was the only one that I gave him a read on all day, and it was the only one that I made, and he missed. But it was crazy. There was probably 2 or 3 thousand people around that green, and it was the second loudest I've ever heard a roar. The loudest was the next day when Blades made a 40 footer on 17 and a 40 footer on 18, and I could not hear myself say good putt. I said good putt to him at Stadium Course, and I couldn't hear myself. So that was a crazy week to be a witness to. Thankfully, I played well. Ended up beating him in the tournament, which is wild. Beat him by one. But yeah, it was a great week for me. Great week for Blades. I think the world should watch out. Like I have so much respect for his game, and I think he's really mature the way he goes about his golf game. Treats it like a job, but has a lot of fun with it. Um, yeah, he's stupid good for 18 years old, and he kind of hits bombs. So he kind of has all the tools. He putts it great. His short game was pretty good. I'd watch out for him. I can't believe he's 5 years younger than me.
Yeah, I feel like he carries himself like he's a 40-year-old and he's got the game of a 25-year-old. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, it's special.
Um, do you have any guys that you rip practice rounds with pretty consistently? I know Blades is more on the Corn Ferry Tour now, but you have a pretty consistent crew you're traveling with?
Yeah, I say Gordon Sargent is like the one that I always love to play with. Um, my caddy, and him are good buddies, and we get along really well when we're eating dinner together or on the course together. So anytime I'm paired with him in a tournament, it's a blessing. And then we look for practice rounds together sometimes. Um, Other than that, there's not too many guys that I'm like consistently like, hey, let's play a practice round with. I think all of our schedules are so individualized that there's times where I don't want to sacrifice 30 minutes of putting before I play to just to play with one of my buddies. There's times where I feel like I really need that, but other times where it's best for me to just get my work done and understand it's a job, and I'm trying to feed my mouth and be able to eat at Chipotle.
You're waiting for Tiger to get healthy so you can play practice rounds with him on the weekly.
Yeah, he'll probably reach out to me for that, so I'll let him come to me for it.
Um, Wait, sorry, Joe. Did you wanted to say something?
No, you can go.
Okay, I was curious. Before we got on the audio, you were talking about your girlfriend and how she's working in Atlanta. What's it like balancing her office job and then you're on the road so much? Do you guys have a plan to, I mean, hopefully, and soon you're going to be doing well enough where she can call it quits and follow you
Yeah.
every week. But what's the routine been like for you two?
Yeah, great question. I think we've been dating a year and a half. So we've been definitely moving towards the direction of a future together, and that's been really exciting. Her job is pretty rigorous. She's really smart, super gifted at math. So she couldn't travel a whole lot, especially her first and really her first year and a half. And then starting January of this year, so only a few months ago, she was able to start traveling more on the road. So I'll get an Airbnb the weeks that she's planning on traveling, and she might come to one a month, maybe two a month. Definitely on the weekends of one or two a month. And then sometimes like this week she's coming for a few more days. So she's coming Wednesday evening. So we'll get to spend Thursday, Friday through Sunday together. But typically, if I know she's coming, I'll rent an Airbnb, and my caddy and her will stay. We'll all stay together. But yeah, it's been really sweet having her on the road. I think it's something that's been exciting in our lives to look forward to, and she's a rock star supporter. She's probably the her strokes gain support with me on the road is really high. She's dialed with just the questions she asks, and I could shoot 82 or 62, and she'd I come off the course, and she'd encourage me the same every way. And she asked me how my heart was on the course and what I felt like I did well. So
It's
she's
wholesome.
great. Yeah, I'm excited to travel with her more.
Is she a golf fan? Does she play herself?
No, she is not good at golf. Uh, our first date was a golf lesson. I was I mean, I didn't really teach her. I just wanted to take her on a date, so I didn't say anything about her swing. But it wasn't great when we first started. She's gotten better. She got really into it when we like 2 months into dating. She was like, she bought a membership to a range for like $100, and she was in on it. But she doesn't really want to go near a golf course like to play very often. She has this putter that's I don't know what the normal lie angle on a putter is, but this one is certainly not normal. It's really upright, and so it's like probably Bryson DeChambeau's putter, honestly. But it's probably from the 1990s, if I had to guess. And I think if you threw it onto a cart path, it honestly would look the exact same. Like you could drag it in a golf cart across the cart path, and you wouldn't be able to tell any difference from what it was like before that. It's so beat up, and she could care less about her clubs or how she plays. I think she really was just interested in it because I play golf.
Well, that's so pretty. How did you guys
Yeah.
meet initially?
Yeah, we went to high school together. And then we didn't date my first 3 years of college. She graduated a year before me, but we went to high school together. So first 3 years of college, we didn't date. And then she had already graduated. We reconnected that summer, going into my senior year, so about a year and a half ago. And we reconnected because of a one of my friends, Webb Simpson, U.S. Open champ, and anybody who knows golf knows that name. But Webb is the man. I cannot say enough nice things about Webb. Every time I see him, it's like, um, yeah, it's just the best. I can't put into words how much his family has meant to me and my brother. But he's been awesome. We did my brother's wedding at his place, and he did my brother's premarital counseling. So he's awesome. But he reconnected us. Haley was working at a camp that Webb was attending, and it was just a camp about Jesus for families. And Haley was a counselor there. And so when Haley and Webb got talking about what Webb does for work, then Haley made the connection and asked, "Hey, do you know Maxwell David Ford?" And thankfully, Webb did, and he was able to say like, "Hey, I think David is single, so if you're interested, then like you could reach out to him." And she took it really slow and didn't reach out to me for the first maybe a few weeks, maybe a month, and then just we sent a text to each other, and yeah, probably about 3 or 4 months after that, started dating in August of 2024. Yeah.
It's wholesome. What a story. Webb
Yeah. It's
setting.
crazy. Nobody knows either. Like everyone out here has no idea that Webb has played played the biggest matchmaking in my life.
He's a
Well,
wingman, and not to mention, he's a major champion for those who don't know. But go ahead, Bobo. Sorry.
no, yeah, he's crushing life. He's got it all figured out. But yeah, I had two Richmond teammates who did the retreat at Webb's place, and I know they saw Maxwell. I don't know if they saw you there, but they said the same things. He's just the most down to earth guy. I'm not the most religious guy, but I know for you and for the teammates I referenced, they um, I don't know that they do Bible studies nearly as often as you, but can you talk about how important that is for you on the road, and how it guides your professional life?
Yeah, great question. Yeah. I think Webb's been huge, like to help me navigate that role of like how my relationship with the Lord fits into golf. It's pretty easy in pro golf to get kind of defined by your score, and your identity can literally become your FedEx Cup ranking. Like if you're if you're not in the field one week, it's because of your FedEx Cup ranking. And it could just take a toll on your identity and like really be tough on your mind and your heart. And all the things that Jesus promises in the Bible is like this world will be hard, like you will have trouble in this world. But then he promises like I've overcome the world. Like Jesus has actually overcome the world. And um I think having like my relationship with the Lord as an anchor in both the great times in golf and the hard times in golf, it just gives me like such a perspective of like in the good times, I can celebrate knowing that it's a gift from God. Like it is straight from the hand of the one who made the trees and the water and everything good that has come about in this world. Like it is a gift from him when I get to play well or share a nice dinner with some friends or any good gift while I'm on the road. And then when I play poorly, I have such a hope that like this world is not my home and like I don't have to put my hope in a golf score to define me. And Webb has modeled that so well throughout his whole life. And there's other guys out here like Russell Henley has done just an awesome job of modeling what it looks like to walk with Jesus in the world of pro golf, where it can be kind of hard. But yeah, I mean my relationship with the Lord is everything for my golf game too. Without Jesus, I'm like a sewer rat trying to hit a 7 iron. Like there's no way I can have peace if I don't have my soul anchored in what Jesus says in His Word and the promises that He makes to me. That like this world is not my home. Like I don't have to put my hope in a 7 iron that goes in the water. You know?
Yeah, you might convince me to pursue Christianity more, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Sure, I just lost my train of thought. But speaking of your brother Maxwell, what was it
Hmm.
like growing up with him at Atlanta Athletic Club? And I think he's playing pro right now too. Is he on the Corn Ferry Tour?
He's on America's right now.
Americas, okay. So what
Oh,
was it like playing with him when you were kids and now both playing professionally at a high level? I'm sure you guys pushed each other, especially when he transferred into UNC.
Yeah, we pushed each other a lot growing up. We were super competitive. AAC, the golf course that we grew up at, Atlanta Athletic Club, super competitive environment. It's like the one of the best environments for a kid to grow up in. So we were super fortunate to grow up in that environment, to have a great junior golf program around us. And we played other sports too. Played some basketball, hockey, a little bit of lacrosse, flag football, just random things that kept us competitive while maybe it was colder in the winters or even just when we were 11, 12 years old and we didn't want to commit our lives to golf yet. But once we started to pursue golf with kind of everything we had, around age 13 or 14, we both just went all in at the same time. So it fostered this level of competitiveness that you can really only get when you have a brother, or somebody that you've grown up with your whole life. You just don't want to lose to them. And there were times where my brother and I would be out on the putting green late at night, and neither one of us would want to go home. Like we'd both want to keep putting because we both wanted to show the other one that we were practicing more than the other one. And I think it helped me a lot. I think there was definitely some over practicing, and that's part of why my injuries came about. But it helped me a lot. There's no way that I'd be where I am at today or where he's at today if both of us weren't competing alongside each other since we were super young. And even just playing on the same team was really helpful to see what he does well and just to kind of remember our identities as growing up at AAC and yeah, just kind of a good blast from the past for us to see like where we came from and yeah, just the ways that our games were formed by competing against each other.
I totally agree with the late night putting, Joe, and I can relate with that, can't we, Joe?
Too many times. Too many
I mean,
times.
just literally out there till 11 p.m., people finishing up dinner, walking out in the patio and being like, is this even allowed? Like putting with the flashlights or your phone, um, sending Cole a text saying we're still out here after he finished the round dinner 4 hours ago. How many times would we do that?
Oh, that's like a daily occurrence in the summer. That's the best though. I grew up with a sister, so I don't have the brotherhood like you guys have, but I guess I used you guys as my brothers, but you're right. It's the best thing a guy could ask for growing up.
So many mosquito bites, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
Horrible.
you just accept it and it's like the best. You love
Who won more? I gotta ask. You know I gotta ask. And we need an honest answer. Who's
Yeah,
taking home?
I mean, objectively, he definitely won more from the ages of until we were really like 14 years old, maybe 15. He won more for sure. And then once we turned 16, I feel like it got pretty even. Like August of when we turned 16, I just won a junior event in California. And then we kind of started to be more neck and neck of when I was 16. And then, um, I mean, you could look at the stats. I think he had his college career does not quite reflect the level of player he is. I think you can kind of trace back his junior golf career and see that he was top 10 in the world his whole time in junior golf. And um, yeah, he battled a little bit of injuries in college golf. And there were times where he maybe didn't play as well as he would have wanted to. But it's still in there. And I think objectively, I have definitely won more since 16 years old. Um, but I have as much belief in him as I do in myself that he can play well.
So going back a little bit to when you guys were younger, you said you played lacrosse in Atlanta. That surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we probably weren't good. If I was like a top three player on the team, like that is saying something because I'm not very good at lacrosse.
Well, I got to bring up right now, UNC Lax is first in the country, Richmond's third in the country. I don't know if you follow it
Oh,
all, but we could get a little bracket, maybe a NCAA championship UNC Richmond. Obviously, I got my boys. I'm sure you got yours. Uh,
yeah,
but kind of a cool time for our respective schools. I don't, are you,
dude.
I'm super into college lacrosse mainly because like we're not a powerhouse athletic school outside of lacrosse and occasionally basketball. So I've been getting crazy into lax the last few years.
That's so sick. Yeah, we were never like insanely good when I was there at lacrosse. We were always projected to be really good, but I think our teams didn't quite perform as well as they had wanted to. While I was at UNC, well, we have some nasty players on the team. Owen Duffy's one of my boys. He is legit. He is really good. Gosh, I can't think of some of the names of the older guys that were on the team, but really good goalie. I think he was the best in the country. And then we had a goalie who transferred from Harvard into UNC, who was a dog. Dom Petramala, shout out Dom. He's
Yeah.
one of my boys. He's really good. Yeah, we've had some good players and some guys that I've been friends with. I'll probably follow it more now that you reminded me of it. I don't follow college athletics all that much. I feel like I have my hands full of playing golf and then just kind of reading or talking to people when I'm on the road. But if there's a game on, I'd love to follow it. That's hype about Richmond, though.
No, it's been fun. It's been especially as a small school seeing. I mean, we're playing Cornell this week, and I think we have Maryland and Notre Dame coming up. So
Dang,
fun. It's fun.
that's legit.
Yeah, it'll be good. So what's the rest of your season looking like? Do you have a pretty, I know you said your injury's still kind of lingering, but do you have a pretty clear schedule for the rest of the spring and into the summer?
Yeah, it's fairly clear right now. It could change with a win or with a few good finishes. There's some pathways to play your way into the elevated events. So if I play great in the next few weeks, there's a good chance I'll get into the at least one of the elevated events for the rest of the year. So I hope to do that. If I win, then I'll be playing the majors and some of the other signature events. I think the rest of the signature events actually. So yeah, it could change with great golf. But right now I'm scheduled to play in Puerto Rico. I'm not scheduled to play in the players, but if I play well this week, then I'll get into the players, hopefully. And then I'm scheduled to play the two in Texas, or sorry, one in Tampa right after that, right after the players, and then two in Texas. I think in the middle of March maybe. And then Masters week I think is first, kind of early April, maybe first of April. Um, RBC Heritage after that, so I won't play in Masters or RBC right now. And then I believe we have a few more in Texas. I don't know.
Houston Open, right?
Yeah, maybe two more in Texas, and then a week off, and then to Myrtle Beach in May 4th through the 10th, I think is when that one is. And then after that, I kind of know my schedule. There's not as many elevated events, so it'll be Charles Schwab. I am playing Memorial. I have a sponsor invite to that. That's elevated.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I might play RBC Canadian Open. I hope to play US Open, and then I'll be playing in Detroit, and then I hope to be playing all the other ones after that that are highly ranked, like the Scottish Open and the British Open.
It's awesome. Besides obviously goals of finishing high in events, winning, do you have any specific goals throughout the season in terms of maybe finishing high in strokes gained putting or anything like that?
Yeah, I haven't really set out any definitive goals. I think some of the things that I'd like to do well are be better around the greens this year. So definitely just improve on chipping and putting. I feel like I've made great strides with that the first 2 months this year. Um, and then I think just maintain where I'm at with strokes gained approach and strokes gained off the tee. I haven't started out as well off the tee this year as I wanted to, but I know as more data comes in that those results can even out. I drove it great last year, and I missed so many cuts while driving it great. So if I just do everything else half as well, then I'm in a great spot to compete week in and week out. But yeah, those are. I mean, I want to chip and putt it better. I want to drive it and approach it as well as I have been. I think that's kind of the recipe for me. And then specific goals, I mean, qualifying for the tour championship is one that's on my radar because I'm from Atlanta. So it'd be a home game for me and probably one of the few events where I'd have more fans that I deserve to have at a certain event. And that'd just be really cool to play at a place where I literally went there for a sponsor invite or a sponsored uh, obligation meeting thing with Coca-Cola just randomly at the Tour Championship this year. So a year later to be able to play in that would be cool. Those are kind of the things that are on my mind. It's early in the year and it's a long season, so just taking it one week at a time and um, yeah, hoping to keep the ball in the fairway and make some putts.
how many
How are
times did you? Sorry, I'll go really quick, Bo.
yeah, go
How
for it.
how many times did you visit that event growing up and like dreaming I'm gonna play in this one day, just knowing I'm gonna be there?
Yeah, not a ton. I think the last time I went was when I was like 13 or 14. And by that time, I didn't really know if I was good enough to play on the PGA Tour. So I never really went there with the mindset of being like, man, I maybe I could do this one day. I was still playing other sports at the time, and once I started to only focus on golf, then I started to have thoughts of like, well, there's no reason why I can't play in those events. Um, yeah, I think it'd be cool. I probably went to the Tour Championship two or three times when I was younger, but not as many as you'd think.
Well, I remember, I think our first time playing together was we were probably 14 or 15 at Chateau Elan. And I think,
Yeah.
like you said, at that point, I think you were probably highly ranked, but weren't the junior golfer that you became quite yet. And we played that. I'm not taking credit, by the way, for your ascent, but we played that. And then the next year or two, you kind of reached levels that were pretty awesome. But speaking of the goals, I know Joe asked you about that. How are you kind of managing your practice? What are you doing mainly right now to try to improve for the season? I can imagine you're pretty busy with travel and being on the road most weeks, but how are you managing that?
Yeah. A lot of it is just doing the same thing every day and being really consistent, boringly consistent with my preparation. I think my best weeks are ones where I know my job before I start a tournament and I do it. Um, that's something that Webb has told me. Know your job and do your job. It's pretty simple from a practice standpoint. So, what that looks like for me right now is doing the same thing with the long irons and the mid irons and the driver. Just keeping my swing in a spot that I know I'm comfortable with. All that's kind of individualized and something that I guess only I know how to do. But um, I don't hit too many balls to maintain that. And then as far as the other parts of the game, I'm I'm learning aim point right now, so stay
Oh,
tuned to see if that works. If you guys see me doing it on TV, then know that it's working. And if you see me just looking at it and looking at my caddy like I have no idea where it's going, then know that nothing's changed. But I'm learning aim point. It's been great so far. I've been thrilled with the results. Started learning it 3 weeks ago when I got the ankle injury. Um, so yeah, I hope that continues. I'm doing a lot of just setup work with my putter and swinging it freely, making sure the putter's swinging great. And then chipping is just getting creative and learning shots. Not doing a ton with technique, but just learning a little bit here and there and playing on different grass. And yeah, it's kind of what my golf prep looks like. And then off course is just working out probably 5 days a week, maybe four when I'm on the road, taking good care of my body. They got a lot of resources on tour for us, thankfully. So I'll be using the cold tubs and getting the treatment in the trailers when I can. But yeah, it's
you gonna get the Justin Rose recovery RV pretty soon?
dude, maybe we're probably in a similar stage of life right now based on wins and career earnings. So I've been considering it. Um, yeah, probably not. Those trailers are awfully free in the PGA Tour in the PGA Tour, and they're great. Like I love them. So I'll keep
How
using my
sick are
my
those
boys.
trailers, by the way?
Yeah, they're good. You kind of get like used to them. You kind of like I walk in, I'm like, there's the therapy trailer, but like it's pretty insane. I'm in an 18 wheeler with four chiropractors who
Yeah.
like are wanting to assist me for free, and I'm just like, my back hurts. Like, let me tend to your every need. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, that's insane. Who got you going into the aim point? Or was that just like you just felt like maybe ought to try it?
Yeah, I the final round at Amex, I just started trying to feel the greens with my feet just randomly because I didn't make a whole lot of putts the first 3 rounds, I guess. So yeah, I started feeling the greens with my feet and shot 7 under that day. Played awesome. Putted awesome too. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just try this. And I tried it at Torrey and putted terrible. So I was like, all right, I need to learn. So I took a lesson from one of my boys back home just to get a real high level baseline for it, work on the fundamentals of aim point, and then just did trial and error for the last 3 weeks, see how far I need to hold my arm out on green speeds and how much for grain, how much for downhill. I don't know if I'm doing it conventionally or if people are going to be watching it on TV and be like, this kid has no idea what he's doing. But it's been working. Like it's been really good when I feel the slope well in my feet. Then the putt goes in. But there's sometimes I get over that and I'm like, oh, man, like 1.2 left, and it's just not a 1.2 left. Like it's just objectively a zero.
Yeah.
So we're still learning, but I'm excited for the challenge. It's been fun.
Were you a line guy prior or just like feel it, put it and feel it?
Yeah, I've been aligned for uh like 7 years now, probably
Nice.
without switching.
Wow, committed. I've been using the Titleist logo, and I've become such a believer in that.
Yeah, I
Maybe
like that.
I don't roll it quite as end over end as you, but I like it, man.
That's sweet. I like that too. My brother uses a big old fat line on the ball. It literally looks like he has a mud ball when he's putting. It's disgusting. But it works. He made everything when we played it on Friday.
Well, before we let you go, I want to ask you two quick, fun questions. First one, are you a believer or a non-believer in the Belichick era?
Good question. I'm gonna say believer right now. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he's only had 1 year there. We had a completely new team last year. I didn't follow football that closely, but yeah, I think the culture is improving, and when you get the right guys around the program and a coach that has been successful with fans that are into it. I mean, a team can only be mediocre for so many years. So I'm excited. I think we're doing all the right things as a football program, and it's been great for the university. So I'll say I'm a believer for all purposes right now.
It's probably the right answer as an
Yeah,
alum, anyway. And then second, what's your favorite food stop on tour so far?
I gotta say Chipotle. Shout out my boys. Uh, I'm sponsored by Chipotle, so shout out to them. I think. some good food spots for people that are just maybe traveling to an event that you wouldn't know about. One of them in Jackson, Mississippi, called Aplos. It's like a Greek place, really cheap, really good food. Great hummus there, and you can get a side of chicken. That's a good bit of chicken for like $3. So I kind of loaded up on Aplos that week. Gosh, I'm trying to think of where else I went. We went to Tiger Woods restaurant in Cabo, White Technology. That was one of my favorites. Um, Good restaurant. Their chicken there was pretty solid. If you're in Palm Springs, a place called Porta Villa, you can't go to Palm Springs and not go there. Me and Gordon Sargent had 2 date nights there, and me and my girlfriend had one date night there that week of Palm Springs. It's a decently nice restaurant, probably like a $40 to $50 meal per person. But if you want to go out and have a nice meal, it's awesome, and the service is great.
Well, I'm going to be
Go,
out there in a month, so if you could send me the info, that would be fantastic.
Yes, it's the spot. I can't. I mean, oh, it's so good.
going to Mississippi and not getting BBQ. That's so. If I ever go to the Sanderson, I guess I'm getting some Greek food, man. That's kind of crazy. I thought the spots would be a barbecue place.
I know. I didn't explore much barbecue there. I should have. Greensboro has some good barbecue. If you go to Greensboro,
I guess living
100%.
in Atlanta though, you probably know a bunch of good BBQ spots. I mean, we went to Georgia for the first time in October. We went to Sea Island, so we tried that Southern Soul spot, which was pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, that place is great.
Yeah,
I
I
like
mean,
that
obviously
place.
up here we're limited in terms of barbecue, man, but we're big
Yeah,
brisket fans.
yeah, true. I love that.
It's a bunch of pulverinos making pizza up in Georgia.
Yeah, yeah. Pizza
Yeah,
and bolognese in this household, baby.
every night, breakfast
Every
too, probably.
every night, you know it.
Well, that was awesome, David. I appreciate you coming on with the crazy life out on tour, but we're obviously rooting for you. I appreciate the intel that we should throw some cash on you if you look like you're rolling the rock with aim point. So that's good to know for the rest of the season. But we're wishing
Yeah,
you the best, rooting for you week in and week out. And thanks again.
yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I enjoyed it.